Good everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day. So today I'll be talking about building or a component using Lightning Data Service. Right? You can build an Aura component and use the Apex, but I'm not going to do that. The reason why I would encourage you to use the Lightning Data Service is because of lots of reasons. Now you must be thinking, what is a Lightning Data Service, right? So uh, if you are someone who came from a Visual Force background, right? In Visual Force, you have something called a standard controller, right? Which using which you can access the data to be displayed on the page, right? Now, the Lightning Data Service is a counterpart to Visual Force standard controller. In other words, it acts as a data layer for Lightning in simple terms. Now, uh, you know, say for instance, think about a scenario, right? You have an application, like Lightning is a single page application, right? You have different components on the screen. Think about a page, right? A single page, and where you have different components, right? Now, if you're not using a Lightning Data Service, right, different components, right, they're going to make, say for instance, you got three components on a single page application, okay, and the three components, um, they wanted to um, make call to say an account object, okay. So now what will happen, right? If you're not going to make use of a Lightning Data Service, each component will make a separate call, independent call to the server to do, maybe an update or delete or whatever CRUD operation, right? Now this is a counterproductive. It's not really efficient, right? Because imagine it's the same object, instead of, you know, uh, all this object combining the effort and making a one call, every component making an individual call. That's not a great solution. And that's where the Lightning, excuse me, Lightning Data Service comes into picture. So, you know, so they will uh, actually eliminate the request for an individual call, for the same record. Instead, it will, make just one call. And it also very efficient to cache data to work offline in case the user get disconnected. So you know, that's very handy. So when the user gets online, it will sync the data. Once the connection is restored, right? So LDS is a very efficient way if you wanted to build a component, an Aura component. So I would highly encourage you to use LDS. That's one of the reasons why what I've done, that created a component. So what I'll do is that this component will actually be placed on an account page, and on the account page it will create a contact. It's pretty simple, right? So as you can see, this is the Aura component. So just to save time, I've already built this. You can get this example from the developer help, right? Because I took that code from there. I didn't want to reinvent the code, so just I use existing code. And so yeah. Okay, now what happens is, right, so it's implementing interfaces that it's available for record home, quick action without header, and it has something called force hash record ID. Now you must be wondering, what the heck is that force record ID, right? So if you wanted to um, you know get the ID of the current record, right, then you have to use this. For instance, if you are embedding this component to an account page, right, using which you can get the ID of an account record. Okay, otherwise you won't be able to do so. Um, so that's one of the advantage of it. So I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys have worked with Aura component, right? Because I'm not showing anything separate or in something unique. If you have done PD1, you would know a little bit about Aura component. So these are the attributes. Attributes, like if you name, like if you're coming from a Apex background, right? If you define a field, how do you find a string or a boolean, right? So that's something attribute here. So we are defining an account and it's a type, or type, right? You normally do, right? Public string variable name. So this is the name of a variable, and this is the type. So that's pretty much an attribute is about here. And the same goes with and you can specify an access type, right? Like I mentioned, like in an Apex, you normally write public, say, static if it's a static variable. But just to keep it simple, you normally do public, say, string value, equals to whatever, right? So here I haven't specified any access. So say in this down case, say for instance, here I specify public, so you can specify private. Now you must be wondering, what the heck is this? The record type, right? It looks a bit different and looks a bit interesting, right? Uh, so according to the Salesforce definition, right, the record data component, right, it actually defines the params for accessing, modifying, or creating a record using LDS, the Lightning Data Service, right? So if you wanted to have a granular control, right, how you want to display and render your data in your custom component, then you need to use this one, right? Um, but that being said, you can also use lightning.record form instead of force.record form for accessing, modifying, creating a record. If you don't need a custom layout or custom rendering of the record data, right? So for now, this is cool. And so I've done this for account. So this is the contact here, and this is the class for displaying the style, right? This is what you see on the screen. I'll show you what it looks like. This is just to capture an error. So this is, and these are the input components, right? So we are getting first name and the last name, title, and I'm actually using a pattern, uh, just like kind of a regex, right? If you use regex, so it's something similar, right? So what I'm doing is that I'm just telling that, just contains 7, 10, or 11 digit. Like I said, I took the source code from the developer console, so I'm not plagiarizing it. I'm just acknowledging it. This is something I took it from a developer uh, documentation, right? And then we have a button you can cancel or save, right? And this will link it to the controller actions, right? So like we have, so in this case, um, and this is when it gets called, when the component get loaded. So that's the init action. So we got a controller. So this is a basic JavaScript code, nothing fancy here. So this is what get called first. I got a callback function, right? And if there's an error, it will record an error. Now we're going to save. So when a user press save, it will get triggered. And, it just used this helper.validator contact form, which is another helper class. So it's just pretty simple, right? It's looking for a component based on a contact field. And then if it returns, then it looks for v.account. And yeah, and then it links the stuff here and it fires it. And yeah, that's pretty much, very simple code. So I'll show you how it works. So you go to here, right? And normally, so what I did, I pasted this on an account record page, and so using which you can create a contact. So I'll just demonstrate. I mean, our component is pretty straightforward, right? Now, I do realize that in the last episode, I mentioned that, okay, I will tell you why Aura component is useful. And unfortunately, I forgot to mention that. I'm going to do that. Let me finish this. Then I'm going to show you why you need to use Aura component at some time, or LWC, because you'll be interested in all right. Okay, so I will go to my account, so whatever it is. And I pasted that component here. So I'll show you. This is how I pasted it. So it's pretty straightforward, right? So what do? You just go to the edit page, right? And it's a bit slow, so that's all right. And you will see the custom here. Um, so I pasted it here, right? This component. So this is a contact info. I drag and drop here. So this is the component I dragged and dropped, this one. And then I saved it, right? Similar, like I've demonstrated how you can drag and drop Visualforce component, right? The same way. So what I'll do, let's create an account. Let's say Dave, Pete, Mr. phone number 1234567 because it's asked for 7. I don't need an email address, right? So that's fine. I'll save contact, right? See, it's a contact saved. It's pretty cool. Now, how do you check if it's created or not? You just go to related. Yeah, you go. It's created, right? It's nice and simple. So, you create a or a component based on your business requirement, right? This is just one as simple. You might say it's a stupid example, but I just wanted to, I want to convey the message, right? It's good to use LDS, right? But that being said, you need to use the Aura component wisely. I the I work as an architect, right? So when a developer comes to me, right, and the first approach, what we normally do, we advise them to use LWC, right, Lightning Web Component. If they can't use that Lightning Web Component for whatever reason, right, they have to come to me and say that why they can't do LWC, and if they can't, then they have to use the Aura component. Now, I'll give you a scenario where it's needed, right? Recently, there's one of the LWC I built. Okay, now the requirement for LWC, right? LWC get triggered using a platform event. So, for instance, um, we got an email component here, right? So, I when I send an email, right? When I send an email, um, you know, it should pop up an LWC, right? Saying, oh, you need to fill this XYZ information, which is a mandatory information. Right now, if I send it, it will send it. But, the requirement is, from business requirement, I'm just giving you, I can't reveal you everything, but I'm just giving you an overview context, right? The requirement was, when the user sends it, should bring up an, LWC component and where the user fills the information, right? And then, when they save it, it gets stored into platform cache, and then you send it, it sends it. That's pretty simple. Now, the problem what we had, right? You know, we realized, right? It's pretty cool, right? You develop an LWC, and then you go to edit the page and embed it. But the problem is, right? Wherever the email get used, right? We have to go and embed to each and every component, right? You might have to go to contact, right? Contact us in email. We might have to go to cases. So it's counterproductive, right? So instead we realized, okay, why don't we add that LWC uh, to the utility bar, right? But the problem with that, right? So when you try to send an email message, right, it will not automatically pop up the thingy from the utility bar because that feature is not supported in LWC yet. That being said, Aura does that. There's a utility API, right? So using which you can do that. So what I have to do, I have to make an Aura component as a parent, like a container, and put that lighting component as a child, and then using the dispatch event, I have to pass the message between the parent and child. I need to do some code changes, but and I have to use the Aura component, utility bar to auto pop up and auto close, right? So that's where I realized the Aura component was very handy because right now Salesforce do not support LWC. That might change in the future. So this is one of the business case I told you where Aura component is useful, right? The based on my personal experience, what I have to do for one of the customers. So that's why Aura component is still important, right? You can't just discard it and say, oh yeah, LWC is the future, right? It is the future, right? And LWC is much cleaner, and I love working with LWC. LWC is amazing. It's just like in Aura component, you got different files getting generated, right? In LWC, you just have two, right? Your HTML and your JavaScript, and then you can use your CSS file, right, for your custom CSS styling. Three files, right? Let's say. And then your test class, right, using Jest. So LWC, I mean, personally, if you ask my opinion, I go for LWC for most of the development. But like I said, you have to weigh the pros and cons, right? It's not a black and white kind of thing. So, oh yeah, I'm going to discard Aura and just go to LWC. It doesn't work that way, my friend. You just have to understand the limitation of it. At times, like I gave you an example, right? I thought, oh, okay, LWC, why the heck I have to care for, or then when the business changed, then say, oh yeah, this is not a very great design, right? Embedding the LWC each and every form. You need to do something for a utility bar. Oops, you can't do that using LWC. So, yeah. So that's one of the reasons why Aura is cool. Right? So I hope you enjoyed it. I mean, I do understand that I didn't build a component from scratch because it would have taken me an hour to do so. So, but yeah, I've used the code. It's available in a developer help documentation. You can refer it. It's pretty simple, right? If you look at the code, it's nothing much here, right? It's not much going on. It's just a pretty basic code, right? If you work with the JavaScript, right, and even the code is not very very well organized, but that's fine. For this stage for demo, and the component, the helper function is pretty basic as well. It's nothing fancy here, and the CMP in the component files, mostly contain uh, just the input component, button component, and then record data. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. I hope you enjoyed it. And that being said, you guys have an amazing Monday. Adios.